Sushi jackknife. 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 Sushi jackknife.
I just forgot how computers work. Yes.
Did you?
I did.
Did you try Control Alt Delete?
I don't think I even have that.
Do you
honestly.
want me to be?
How do I control? I have Command. This is a Macintosh computer.
Let me become your IT support here.
Okay.
What's the issue you're having?
You know, I can't even describe it to you.
Okay, well, have you tried turning it off?
Actually, yes.
Did you turn it back on?
Yes, I did.
Okay, well, we'll have to call someone to come look at your computer.
Yeah, I've gotten that a lot, and I've gotten have you unplugged it? Not only have you turned it off, but have you unplugged the cord from the back? Because that has some sort of magic inside it.
So, at my work, the way our computer system is set up, and this is a very convoluted way of doing it,
I'll say,
is all of our computer systems are controlled by a server that is hidden somewhere in the wilds of Michigan. We don't know where. No one knows where. Okay. It's purposefully kept secret.
Really? Is that true?
And from what I hear, I don't
That's
know. I haven't
cool.
really done research into it because I don't care that much.
Yeah, I would imagine.
But what that means is I turn on my computer at my desk.
Yeah.
And then I log on to a separate server that looks like another desktop.
Remote desktop? Is that what you're doing? Okay.
So if I call IT, they say, have you tried turning off your remote desktop? And I say, yeah, I did that. And they go, well, let's try it again. Okay. And so then we try it again.
Okay.
Obviously, this does not fix the problem.
Right.
Because typically the problem is the fact that we are working via a remote desktop.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So then they say, well, did you try turning off your thin client, the computer that we have at our desk? And I say, yes, I did. And they go, well, let's try that again.
Of course they do.
And so we'll turn it off and turn it back on. And they'll go, well, that didn't work. Let's force restart it. And so then we turn it off a third time by pushing the power button and holding it.
Yes.
And then turning it back on.
Yes.
And then at that point, it still will most likely not work. Or the problem has fixed itself without them doing anything to it. And then we're done.
Yeah. It seems that computers are like made happy by just going through the motion of doing that.
Well, and then if it doesn't work, what they'll do is they'll put in, because I'm on the phone, they'll put in a ticket for someone to come up and look at my computer.
Right.
And he will walk in and go, so did you try restarting the computer yet? Yes, I did.
Welcome to Sushi Jackknife.
Bonjour.
You're going to have a lot of exciting talk about things like that, like Nathan's IT woes. Mm-hmm. That's the sort of hard-hitting content that we're coming at you with. Where in actuality, we will be, I think we're going to get into some news tonight.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the stack of papers in front of me, and they seem to be calling towards me. If you've never listened before, well, you're probably still not listening. You've probably realized your mistake and have backtracked to whatever else you were looking for in the iTunes store.
I do wonder, and I'd like to know if this has ever happened, but I assume it probably has.
Yeah.
Anyone who's really interested in like Japanese culture,
right.
If they've stumbled onto the podcast and gone, I wonder what this is, huh? They haven't talked about sushi at all.
Yeah, I've had the same thought of like maybe even reorganizing ourselves into a category. I'm sure there's a category for like Asian culture or something like that, just to confuse the fuck out of people.
If we do that, we have to at least pretend to be Asian culture
Right.
for a second.
Oh, yeah.
like just have a vocab word of the week.
Oh yeah, koi,
Yeah.
a fish.
Anyway, so
It's back to
so my issue with hot chocolate,
Right.
let me tell you.
oh holy shit. I have to tell Nebraska Roy. Apparently, some past episode, maybe even last week, I said, if you tell us to say your name on the air, we'll say your name on the air. So Roy Sermansky, there you go. I just had to check that off.
Was that really worth it, Roy?
Ask yourself.
I want you to look at your life decisions.
Speaking of, this is the speaking of life decisions, I guess. Like your and my life decision to spend our time doing nearly 100 episodes of this show.
Yeah.
Yes, there are nearly 100 episodes. Yes, the 100th episode is looming. Yes,
It's looming.
It's looming.
Like a triangle person right behind you.
God damn it! Every time he does this to me, it really I really want to look. You're so
It's looming.
You're so good. You're so good at this. You're so good at fucking with me.
It was your mistake for using
You're
the word
so
looming.
good at fucking with me. Stop fucking with me. I looked.
If you had said it was on the horizon, I mean, I could have told you there were triangle people on the horizon, but that's not going to get you to look anywhere.
We're underground.
Yeah.
I can't see the horizon. What the hell was I talking about, Nathan? Jesus. Oh, episode 100, much like episode 50, will be a live episode. Recorded upstairs, which is a privilege for us. They don't often let us go upstairs.
Never, really.
And with an audience of sorts. It could be one person.
Yeah.
It could just be our wives.
I may or may not be there.
That would be a problem. If it be a very boring show without you.
I mean, would it really be more boring? Am I really bringing that much to this?
You absolutely are. It's the magic between us. That's the show. That's why we avoid classification. It's an interpersonal magic.
And if you want to come to the show,
Yeah.
if you show up from a long distance away, we'll say your name on the air. Roy.
Sure will, yeah. You really want Roy to come, don't you?
I'm just wanting to see how far he'll go to get his name said on the air.
And much like the last live episode we did 50 episodes ago, wow. We'll be doing some interaction with the audience, some games.
Yeah.
There'll be some surprises. Maybe a call-in or two. I'm working on some things. Working on a few little things.
I don't like how high-pitched you got there.
I'm working on some things. So
It just seems alarming.
yeah. Is it looming when I go low, though? I'm working on some things.
You don't go low enough for it to be looming.
I'm working on some things. That's better, right? How's my triangle?
I don't think you can have a menacing voice.
No, yeah, you're right.
I think your voice is just in that sweet spot where there's no way, like if you took a hostage, there's no way you'd be able to call without one of those voice scramblers to sound menacing.
Right, yeah.
It would be a necessary tool, not to disguise your voice, but just for people to take you seriously.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. There'd be a little dialogue box that would say menacing, and it would have a fader, and I could just turn it all the way up. Yeah. Oh, shit. Let's get to some news, shall we? Should we get to some news? We didn't do any news last time.
Is there anything going on in the world to talk about?
Not anything.
I just would like to know this basement. If a nuclear weapon
Yes.
were to hit us,
Uh-huh.
would we be Slightly safer.
Slightly.
Okay.
Yeah, slightly.
Okay.
I mean, you know, I don't have any supplies down here. Mm-hmm. I may have told this story before, but when we were in college, we found, and Roy will remember this, we found this big canister of Fallout food.
Uh-huh.
It was in a big, like, aluminum canister. It probably weighed 50 pounds.
Right.
It was full, and we cracked it open. It was from the 50s.
Yeah.
We cracked it open, and it was these little hard candies inside. And it sort of looked like Lifesaver, the pineapple flavor, but they were like kind of square, more square, and just hard and
I was just picturing
unattractive.
When the nuclear holocaust happened,
Right.
Someone running to their aluminum can,
Right.
and going, you know what time it is? Jolly Ranchers!
That's basically it, yeah. And we tried them, and they weren't terrible. They really weren't.
What were they flavored like?
In my mind, I'm thinking pineapple, but that's probably just because of the association. I don't really remember.
Did you feel like you had all of your day's nutrients?
Yes.
Okay.
I think they were called carbohydrate supplement, which means sugar.
Yeah.
So
So they actually were just lifesavers.
they were just candy, yeah. So I kind of wish I had that right now, given our current circumstances. The people know what's happening.
I'm sure.
Is there anything you want to say about it?
Yeah. If you or any of your friends or family know Kim Jong-un, if they could call him,
Yeah.
just give him a little ring-a-ding
Bring, bring.
and say, "Hey, Kim, you can just ignore him. Don't take him seriously. You know who we're talking about. Just the guy, the one with the hair.
Yeah.
Just ignore him. He's probably not gonna nuke you.
Yeah.
So just
No.
don't nuke us.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, as a precautionary measure, like let's not. Well, and I am pulling from diverse sources tonight. But this first source is the Washington Post. Headline: God has given Trump authority to take out Kim Jong-un, evangelical advisor says. So that's good. That's good.
Can evangelical advisors to every president at this point just shut up?
I wish for a time.
They always think that, like, they're always saying God has preordained someone for something.
I know. It's the classic excuse, man. It's like it justifies whatever you need it to justify,
Yeah.
so you can do what you want to do.
It's like when Sarah Palin was saying that that God had chosen her and McCain to win the election. Well, what happens when when that doesn't happen? Were you not talking to the right God? Is there no God? What happened?
Did God forget? Make a poor choice?
Was he just messing with you? Like he's got to get his jollies somehow.
Somehow.
You know?
Yeah.
Let's mess with that yokel from Alaska.
He's got all the time in the multiverse. In this case, this is Texas megachurch pastor Robert Jeffries, Jeffres, Jeffress, one of President Trump's evangelical advisors who preached the morning of his inauguration, has released a statement saying that the president has the moral authority to take out North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. So there you go. He's citing Romans 13, I guess. The biblical passage, Romans 13, that guy, yeah, gives the government authority to deal with evildoers, Jeffries said. That gives the government the authority to do whatever, whether it's assassination, capital punishment, or evil punishment to quell the actions of evildoers, like Kim Jong-un. Man, that's some circular, if I've ever...
I'm looking at Robert here on my phone.
Yeah.
And
RJ.
Just looking at him, I'm going to go ahead and bet that if God wanted to give the news of some sort of preordination of a world leader to do something to anyone.
Yeah.
It's not this guy.
He looks very mild-mannered.
This guy,
in that picture.
like the news he would be getting is like, yeah, you're gonna have a bowl of soup that's a little bit too hot. So watch out for that.
You're going to want more Z's in your alphabet soup, but they won't be there. This is interesting. He said that many pacifist Christians will cite Romans 12, which says, do not repay evil for evil. Mm-hmm. But Jeffrey says that passage is referring to Christians, not the government. Clearly.
So wait.
Yeah.
God told Trump he can do whatever he wants.
Through this guy. Yeah.
Through this guy. And this guy says no one can say anything because Trump isn't a Christian.
That's not it.
The government's not Christianity.
Well, do not repay evil for evil. He says that passage is referring to Christians, not the... Yeah, I guess that is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Christians should not do that. But the government, whatevs.
So... in his mind,
yes,
God went, hey.
right.
I know that I told my followers not to repay evil with evil. Is there someone around who has, I don't know, loose morals that we could...
right.
that I could just give this power, like just let him take over... Because I really don't like this Kim Jong-un fella, but I'm not going to do anything about it.
Yeah, right.
I'm vengeful, just not that vengeful, you know.
I got to read you this quote too. This is something. Some Christian. This is Jeffries again. He is no stranger to controversy. He has said in the past that former President Barack Obama paved the way for the Antichrist. Oh, man. And drew wide attention for calling Mormonism a cult during the 2012 Republican primaries. Jeffries knows his comments on North Korea could be considered controversial, even among fellow evangelicals. He says, some Christians, perhaps younger Christians, have to think this through. It's antithetical to some of the mushy rhetoric you hear mushy rhetoric you hear from some circles today. Frankly, it's because they are not well taught in the scriptures. Okay, so this guy thinks that Obama somehow has paved the way for the Antichrist, which is obviously Donald Trump. So I guess he's right on that one, right?
Yeah.
Particularly if this whole thing results in nuclear holocaust.
Maybe he's an accidental prophet. I don't know.
Maybe he is.
I'm on his Twitter page here.
Jeffries?
Yeah. He has 37,000 followers, of course.
That's fun. That's fun.
I don't think if you are a good pastor,
yeah,
half of your timeline should be made up of sermon notes and things.
Yeah.
While the other half is made up of retweeted Fox and Friends clips.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. One last little factoid here. In July, his church choir and orchestra performed a song called Make America Great Again at the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, where Trump was in attendance. So this guy is blowing my boy real hard.
He loves seeing his own name. Oof. He has retweeted the Washington Post.
Oh. The article we just referenced, maybe?
Probably. He's retweeted Fox and Friends, Fox Business, basically anything that mentioned his name. That is how he got in league with Trump. They both share a love for hearing people say their name.
There you go. Speaking of Fox, I did what I said I would do from a few episodes ago.
You read Fox News?
I read Fox News.
How long did you make it?
I think I read like 3 things.
Oh man, I can't believe you made it through 3 things. But I just skim the headlines and go, I can't click on any of these.
I watched 3 videos, which is strange. It's the strange thing about the video. I thought they were articles. Mm-hmm. They were not.
They have a lot of videos.
Lots of
MSNBC
videos.
does too.
Do they?
MSNBC upsets me because I'm like, I want to read this article. No,
it's a video.
There's no words to read here.
Right. And then I couldn't watch it again. Like, it would just play. It was annoying. Anyway, back to IT problems.
Yeah.
I typed up a little document here what I learned from Fox News.
Oh, God.
In quotations, real stories in jest. Number 1, new immigration policies are really super awesome in Miami-Dade County. Okay, they've had an uptick in the arrest of illegal immigrants. And they're saying, oh, well, okay, so my notes are a little, it's scrambled my brain. Oh, I also learned from that video that Rahm Emanuel, who I believe is now the mayor in Chicago, he was in the Obama administration.
Yes, he is.
Is suing the federal government about ICE. So that, I like that. And also I learned that saying something is, quote, nonpartisan is a big deal to conservatives when it's actually incredibly partisan. So they would constantly say nonpartisan, when actually, like, it's super partisan.
Yeah. It's so over Tanae's family reunion.
Yeah.
It's the first time in my life I have ever had access to Fox News, CNN, MSNBC all in a row.
Wow.
In the hotel room.
Oh, in the hotel room. Okay.
Yeah. So I took advantage of it. And what I learned here is on Fox News, they're going to be, quote, bipartisan by finding the dumbest Democrat they can possibly find.
Right.
Then on MSNBC, they may not even bring in a Republican.
Right, yeah.
And then CNN, they want to be bipartisan so bad that they will have a panel of 5 million people, 250,000 of which... 2,500,000. There we go.
Yeah.
Of which will have been in the Trump campaign.
Right. Somehow.
Yeah. And then the others are all very upset liberal activists.
So they represent both sides, but the extremes of both sides.
And then they will have Don Lemon in the middle. Just going, well, guys, hey... Oh, I don't know. He just makes noises at them and eggs them on.
Right.
And that's their entire primetime programming.
So the end result there is there's no voice of moderation in cable news.
The closest to a voice of moderation is when you watch something like Jake Tapper on CNN or Chuck Todd on MSNBC, where they will sit there and go, well, wait a second, to whoever their guest is on either side.
Okay. Doesn't matter. They're laying it out.
Hey, wait a second.
Thing 2 that I learned from Fox News. This is a good one. The extreme news media, are, quote, trying to tear down Trump, according to Stephen Miller. Miller, I learned, is a, quote, rising star of the Trump administration. This is on Tucker Carlson.
I thought you were going to say ventriloquist dummy come to life.
Miller is sensitive to, quote, cosmopolitan bias from reporters who ask difficult questions. Only people from Great Britain and Australia speak English. Did you see this little video?
Yes.
Oh, my God. He basically chastised this guy for trying to ask him a question.
Well, what happened was Jim Acosta from CNN asked him a rather pointed clarifying question.
Yes.
And what happened was a heated argument, which then completely devolved because Jim Acosta made a sarcastic comment about, so you're only going to be letting people in from Great Britain and Australia. Clearly a sarcastic comment. And Stephen Miller either doesn't recognize sarcasm or...
Let's go with that. I don't think he recognizes sarcasm.
Or just wanted to,
he took the opportunity.
Be that guy.
Yeah, he took the opportunity to jump all over Jim Acosta.
Only people from Great Britain and Australia know how to speak English, Jim.
Here's what else I learned. I learned that Stephen Miller, I guess I hadn't got a good look at him. I learned that Stephen Miller looks like he could win a Vladimir Putin lookalike contest. He has a Russian
kind of
vibe, doesn't he? He's like not as like, I don't want to, suck Vladimir Putin's dick here, but he's not as like built as Vlad. But he's got kind of a thing going on in the face that looks Putin-esque.
He also, from time to time, has like a weird Pauly Shore vibe going.
Wait, do you think he is Pauly Shore?
That's what happened to Pauly Shore.
Yeah, he just became Stephen Miller and got very angry. Or this is a long game. This is like an Andy Kaufman-esque kind of like, performance art sort of thing.
Yeah. There's no picture I ever see of Stephen Miller where I go, that looks like a guy that should be trusted.
Right.
I mean, look at that guy right there.
That guy. He's like a skinnier, less healthy, like whelp version of Vladimir Putin. Trump is apparently the leader of a populist movement, Nathan. Did you know this? An economic nationalist conservative movement. Wow. Economic conservative nationalism.
Mm-hmm.
Nationalism.
I don't see any issue with that.
No. And he's the leader of it, and it's, quote, swept the entire world. Not just the United States, but the entire world.
By the way, real quick, if you Google Stephen Miller right now, the top 3 stories on the Google are the headlines. Trump is the most gifted politician of our time, says Stephen Miller.
That was on my list, yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Then it's a tweet of, I'm assuming the Fox News article you read, he retweeted it. And then, watch, Stephen Miller stuns by claiming President Trump is the best orator to hold that office in generations.
That is outlandish. And it's coded too, because every fucking body knows that Obama was even if you disagree with the guy completely on everything, he was a fantastic public speaker. He is a fantastic public speaker. I mean, I would say, people always say Lincoln was great, but he's dead, so we don't really know. And
right.
I think we don't really have do we have a recording? I don't remember if there's a recording of Lincoln speaking.
I don't believe we do.
Yeah. So there's just descriptions of what people said he spoke like, right?
Yeah.
But Obama is like easily up there with the top of all the presidents in terms of speaking. So I feel like that is a pointed comment directed right back at Obama, saying that like, hey, that black guy doesn't count. You know what I mean? Don't you? I don't know.
Let me read you just a bit of what the greatest orator of our generation said today, whilst speaking. Kim Jong-un has said things that are horrific, and with me, he's not getting away with it. He got away with it for a long time between him and his family. He's not getting away with it. This is a whole new ballgame. He's not going to be saying those things, and he's certainly not going to be doing those things. I read about we're in Guam by August 15th. Let's see what he does with Guam. He does something in Guam. It will be an event the likes of which nobody's seen before. What will happen in North Korea? That's the greatest orator.
I mean, the man doesn't complete sentences. That's not great oration.
It's like, especially the last sentence. He does something in Guam. It will be an event the likes of which nobody has seen before. And then he went, oh no, I forgot to say what event would be that. And he just tags, what will happen in North Korea at the end of it, as if that's a proper sentence that people
it sounds like a question. Mm-hmm. Is there a question mark at the end of that? Mm-mm. What will happen in North Korea? I don't know. That's the truth, by the way.
No, the truth is we know. I mean, we're not like those previous the previous administration, we're not them. We're not like, it's a whole new ballgame.
Stephen Miller also said something about Trump getting in good with the African American population. which we should probably fact check. I'm not sure if that's true or not. But what he said about it was interesting. He said it was, quote, visually good. Because we don't actually care. We just want to seem like, you know what I mean? We're getting the black vote. It's visually good.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting? So here's a little of them fighting. I'm not sure where we are in this.
In 1970, when we let in 300,000 people a year, was that violating or not violating the Statue of Liberty law of the land?
Here we go.
Is this it?
In the 1990s, when it was 500,000 a year, was it violating or not violating the Statue of Liberty law of the land?
This is Jim Acosta.
When it was 700,000 a year. No, tell me what
Nope,
years.
there's Stephen Miller. That's
Tell me
Stephen
what
Miller.
years.
Okay.
Tell me what years meet Jim Acosta's definition of the Statue of Liberty, home, law of the land. So you're saying a million a year is the Statue of Liberty number. 900,000 violates it, 800,000 violates it.
You're sort of bringing a
Jim.
press one for English philosophy here to
Jim.
immigration, and that's never
For Jim.
what the United States has been about, Steve.
But you're also your statement's also shockingly ahistorical in another respect too, which is if you look at the history of immigration, it's actually ebbed and flowed. We've had periods of very large waves, followed by periods of less immigration and more immigration, and during
we've had a period of immigration right now. The president wants to build a wall, and you want to bring about a sweeping change to the
surely,
immigration
Jim, you don't actually think that a wall affects green card policy. You couldn't possibly believe that, do you? Actually, the notion that you actually think immigration is at a historic low, the foreign-born population in the United States today, Jim,
on Monday, talking about how border crossings.
do you really? I want to be serious, Jim. Do you really at CNN not know the difference between green card policy and
Still
illegal
with
immigration?
CNN.
You really don't know that?
They just continue to abuse them.
In 1962, right before the Cuban Missile Crisis, and obtained a green card. Yes, people who immigrate
Okay,
to this
so
country
Jim-
can eventually. People who
So, Jim,
immigrate
it's
to
a
this
factual
country
question,
through,
Jim.
not through Ellis
Jim,
Island,
as a factual
This guy's a bully, man.
As a factual question.
They do it through a lot of hard work, and yes, they may learn
As opposed to all other
English
kinds of
and language
questions.
later on in life.
So, but
this
Jim-
whole notion of they could learn, they have to learn English before they get to the United States. Are we just going to bring in people from Great Britain and Australia?
Here we go.
Jim, actually, I have to honestly say, I am shocked at your statement that you think that only people from Great Britain and Australia would know English. It's actually...
Okay.
It's clearly a sarcastic, snarky comment because Jim Acosta was a little pissed off.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Because dude's been yelling at him.
Yeah.
Jim. So there's that. Also, conservatives. Oh, well, I just wanted to finish up here on this Tucker Carlson show. Boy, they were coming about this exchange. Who is Tucker Carlson? Is that a man, a woman?
That is a man. He
Okay.
used to be the douchebag on Fox that wore a bow tie all the time.
Oh, yeah, that guy, yeah.
Now he just wears regular ties.
Oh, yeah,
but the same douchebag.
Okay.
attitude.
Well, it wasn't him. It was a lady there.
Okay.
And she was like, she just kept saying how much her and her colleagues enjoyed watching this exchange with Stephen Miller. She's like, we just had so much fun with it. Are you going to be at more press briefings? We were having so much fun. I'm like, what the fuck reality are we living in? There is nothing news about this. They're just manipulating. And he's constantly, Stephen Miller is constantly, this whole cosmopolitan bias thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's constantly speaking to the people who I assume voted for Trump, who are by and large not cosmopolitan people, and think that people that live in cities have something against them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they are masterful at this level of manipulation, and that's the thing I keep coming back to that's a little concerning, because I don't feel like on the left you have the same kind of malicious, goal-oriented strategy going on. You know what I
No.
mean? Do anything to get what you want.
You
these
definitely
guys
don't, because as you see right now, there's no leadership.
Right. Yes, exactly.
On the Republican side, you've got lunatics in charge,
Right.
trying to brainwash people.
Yes.
And on the left
Yes.
side, you've got probably 50 different people going, I'm the face of the Democrat Party.
Yes, that is the current problem we face. Yes, it is. It is. The other thing that conservatives really seem concerned about from watching a little bit of Fox News is Mark Zuckerberg getting political. That's apparently a big deal, even though he's like 2 years too young to run for anything. Yeah.
I mean, I have an issue with it too, but that's mostly just because we've seen what happens when people who have no business being in politics get into politics. This is a case study currently.
Right. Yes.
The results aren't fully in, admittedly.
Right.
However, I'm worried that by the end of the case study, there will be no place for the results to go to left.
Correct. That, I think, is almost the strategy. That's about what we're dealing with here. I mean, wow. In other news, the FBI conducted a pre-dawn raid of Paul Manafort's house. Mm-hmm. If you don't remember, he was a former Trump campaign chairman.
And they found a bunch of foot fetish porn.
Is that true?
No.
Okay.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
That's not true.
Again, back to my theory with Kellyanne Conway's feet. FBI agents raided the home in Alexandria, Virginia, arriving in the pre-dawn hours late last month. We're just finding out about it now. And seizing documents and other materials related to the special counsel investigation of Russian meddling in the 2016 election. Paul Manafort, if you don't recall, he's got a lot of ties to Russia. A lot.
In case you were curious how Donald Trump felt about this.
Yeah.
Donald Trump spoke about this today. He said, and I quote, "I thought it was a very, very strong signal or whatever. I know Mr. Manafort. Haven't spoken to him for a long time, but I know him. I thought it was a very, they do that very seldom, so I was surprised to see it. I was very, very surprised to see it."
Oh my God. This is our great orator. Mm-hmm. Again, he seems like he's trying to distance himself a little bit.
Oh, he does this every single time something.
Whoa.
I talked to him one time, maybe.
Right. He managed your campaign, fuckface. The raid, which occurred without warning on July 26th, signaled an aggressive new approach by Special Counsel Robert Mueller and his team in dealing with a key figure in the Russian inquiry. Manafort has been under increasing pressure as the Mueller team looked into his personal finances and professional career as a highly paid foreign political consultant. That's back to the WAPO, if you can't tell, because it's like written well and stuff.
Yeah. I'd like to hold on real quick, as an experiment.
Yeah. Let's do it. Same thing on another.
Let's see what Fox News says.
Okay. I don't know if you know, but what I just read, if you're sensing it out there, but what I just read was a presentation of facts.
All right. Let's see here. There's several stories that have popped up. Let's go with this first one, the most popular. I'm assuming it's the top story listed here.
Yes.
After the story you read, what's the headline on that one?
FBI conducted pre-dawn raid of former Trump.
Cool. The Fox News headline is Trump lawyer slams special counsel for gross abuse in Manafort raid, challenges warrant.
Yeah.
So their angle is, hey, Trump's lawyer says that's not cool.
Yeah.
So
right. Rather than reporting the main thing that happened, they're reporting the reaction of Trump's lawyer to the thing that happened. That's the real news.
Trump's lawyer said these methods are normally found and employed in Russia, not America. And I'm assuming when he said that, Trump heard it and went, "No, don't say it out loud. He'll hear you."
Also this week, interestingly, Russian surveillance planes soared over the Pentagon, the Capitol, and other Washington sites. This was on Wednesday. Today is Thursday, the 10th. Mm-hmm. Presumably collecting intelligence as it traveled near those sites. The Russian Air Force Tupolev Tu-154 aircraft made the flight through the Treaty of Open Skies, which Russia, the U.S., and 13 other nations have signed. The treaty established criteria under which countries can make unarmed observation flights over the soil of other treaty members in an effort to promote transparency in international arms control efforts.
Or if they just want to check out the Washington Monument.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Yeah.
It's like a real big pointy penis.
It is.
It's neat.
It is. You know, it has a base. I always thought that it was like from the bottom. It was this like but it has almost like a. Maybe I'm misremembering. I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
Okay.
Because I was thinking it had a bottom on it like a lighthouse does. Mm-hmm. But then I realized that could be like a Flight of Fancy kind of thing I'm having right now. And then I had a mental image of like a light coming out of the Washington Monument and it's spinning.
That's not a thing.
None
You're
of that
actually
happens.
thinking of an actual lighthouse. I know what happened.
What happened?
You were driving to Washington, D.C.,
Yes.
and you just missed your turn and drove about 300 miles off. Thought you were seeing the Washington Monument. It turned out it was just a lighthouse.
I did drive about 300 miles out of my way back in October.
Yeah.
Until I saw signs for lighthouses, and I was like, that's not right.
And you went, Washington Monument!
Philadelphia is not on the coast. And my favorite piece of news this week, Nathan, my favorite piece of news. Someone placed a huge Trump chicken near White House, and it's glorious.
A Trump chicken?
You didn't hear about this?
Come again?
Trump chicken. This is from, this is not the WAPO, if you can't tell. This is from, I don't know what this source is. This is the first thing that popped up. Carbonated.tv.
Oh, sounds legit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
An enormous inflatable chicken bearing an uncanny resemblance to President Trump seems to have joined the protest outside the White House. There is
I just pulled up a picture of it.
Trump chicken, quote unquote, which became an unexpected mascot of the tax march back in April, reappeared on social media news feeds after cameras caught it staring down the White House from the Eclipse Park. Sporting the president's signature puffy in the front and matted on the sides hairstyle. Although the commander-in-chief is still on his 7-day vacation in New Jersey, the giant bird still drew significant attention from both Trump supporters and protesters. The 30-foot-tall inflatable fowl, which is sometimes referred to as chicken Don. Yeah, it's got golden hair, too. Yeah. It looks like a Colonel Sanders that like got puffed out real big.
I'm going to bet that if Trump weren't on vacation, he would actually like it.
I think so.
The gold is right up his alley.
It matches his curtains in the Oval Office.
It's the best chicken. I have the best chickens.
Of all the inflatable chickens.
I have the best inflatable chickens made in my image.
It is the brainchild of documentary filmmaker Tehran Sinj-Barar, who spent 5 months trying to acquire a permit and permission to stage the protest. He did a GoFundMe page earlier this year, $1,500. He raised $1,500. Once he acquired the chicken, it's a funny sentence to me. He said he communicated with the Secret Service and kept pestering the U.S. National Park Services for a permit until they finally granted him one this week. We are out here to criticize our president for being weak and ineffective as a leader and being too afraid to release his tax returns, too afraid to stand up to Vladimir Putin, and now engaged in an enormous game of chicken with Kim Jong-un. Yet he wants a military parade in D.C. It's all incongruous, and we are here to make fun of him for that. So there you go. Trump chicken.
His next plan is a mock military parade with dozens of chicken dons.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This is from the New York Times right here.
How do we get to be in that?
Chicken dons dressed in Russian ornaments.
Oh, my God. That's amazing. I love it. I love it so much. I love it so much. I got other stuff here, but it's a little old.
It's everything we just said is probably out of date.
It's too old, yeah. Like a week ago, I read this article about some senators being caught on hot mic saying that Trump is crazy and that they were worried.
Wait, what party were they?
This is Susan Collins.
Okay.
Republican from Maine.
Well, we know how she feels.
We know how she feels. I'm into her. And Senator Jack Reed, the ranking Democrat on transportation,
and we know
urban development.
How he feels too.
Yeah. So there you go. But
it would have been a lot more interesting if it was like Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio just hanging out going, hey, so like he is like legit crazy, right?
Right?
Yeah, okay,
right.
cool.
Mitch McConnell being like, fucking, God damn it.
So I've never heard Mitch McConnell speak. but just looking at him, I assume that every sentence he says takes the space of like 10 sentences a normal human would say.
Right.
Like it just drags. Every word just keeps going. Like if he were to filibuster something, he could read a paragraph,
Right.
and it just knocks out 2 hours.
Right. Yeah, no, he has kind of like an old Southern guy kind of voice. Yeah.
So it drags.
His cheeks are real floppy, so he's got some of that happening in there too. He just chops, that kind of thing.
I don't know if you heard in Trump's whole speaking with reporter fiasco today. He spoke with reporters, which doesn't happen.
Right.
He also talked about poor Mitch, saying he was disappointed in him. Now, here's my question for you. If Trump says he's disappointed in you and you're Mitch McConnell,
Yeah.
are you worried about your reelection chances there? Or are you going, that may play into my favor?
I think if you're Mitch McConnell, you're so highly strategic in everything you do that, he's like, either way.
Yeah.
I can use this.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what he says. I can use it.
When Guam is wiped off of the planet,
Oh, God, Guam, I know.
he can then run saying, hey, you remember that guy that was in charge?
Right.
Doesn't like me.
He doesn't like me because I couldn't ram through the things he wanted me to do.
Yeah.
But, no, it doesn't matter. He doesn't like me. So there you go. You want to quick hit me?
Oh, we can do that.
You want to quick hit me? You haven't
can do
quick
that.
hit me in a while.
I didn't have them pulled up and ready, so you'll have to bear with me for 1 second.
So slow hit me.
Well, no, I mean, it's still going to be a quick hit.
Just like all the others.
I don't understand what that means.
Well.
That sounds like an 80s like pop love song. Slow hit me.
Just like all, in quotations, just like all the
Yeah.
others.
That would be full of innuendo, but like you don't realize it unless you're really paying attention.
I think we can kind of demo that right now, actually.
I don't.
While you're doing what you're doing.
What was that? What am I doing?
You're pulling that up, right?
Well, I have it up.
Oh, it's up.
It's up.
Well, now I'm invested, so.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So.
You know what?
Slow hit me one more time. I don't know. This didn't go well.
That is the music that would be associated with
Right?
it.
I mean, I got that part. It's just, coming up with a melody on the fly. It's not easy.
That's why you don't see a lot of improv musicians.
No, well, yeah.
Are you going to turn on the quick hit music?
Yeah, I marked it.
It's on right now.
It's happening, yeah.
Currently behind me.
Why do you always...
Well, because I don't get to hear it.
Well, I know that.
So I don't...
You're just trusting that I'm going to do it.
And I don't know how much I can trust you.
That's fair. That's fair.
This is a CNN heavy quick hits today.
All right.
Because I feel like they get yelled at too much. So I'm treating them nicely here by focusing on them.
I'm into it.
A poll today on CNN revealed that 7 out of 10 people view Congress as a failure. That's a 30% approval rating. That is a lower approval rating than Donald Trump.
Wow.
Now, obviously that's not ideal. What could Congress do to win over people? I have an answer.
Okay.
But I'd like to hear you throw some ideas out real quick.
Midnight raids in chicken masks.
Okay.
On all the Trump children.
Actually, that could be fun. Yeah. Obviously, the correct answer here is National Pizza Party.
That's kind of what I suggested. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying if a congressman gives me a pizza, I'm probably going to want to vote for him.
Free Google clusters for everyone.
No. Overrated.
Well, that's a local thing. It's on my mind. Overrated.
So this was also on CNN today.
All right.
Whenever Trump has a rally or a press conference, any event,
Yes.
the staff in the White House will bring him a packet of screenshots from all the networks showing how they presented whatever he was doing.
Okay.
Because he likes to see what the bottom third chyron says on every network.
What? Okay, I'm following you.
You got what I'm saying?
A packet of... Okay, so
they walk in
yeah.
with an envelope.
Yeah.
He opens up the envelope. I'm assuming it's an envelope. Could be a folder. We don't know. Inside are a series of pictures, like, this is you on Fox News while you were at that press conference.
Okay.
Well, this is you on CNN while you were at that press conference. Here's you on MSNBC while you were at that press conference. Here's you on C-SPAN. I don't know. C-SPAN, it probably just says Donald Trump, president. I don't...
Right.
Nothing really exciting there.
Right.
But he doesn't even care how they report it. He just wants to read the headline and the little byline underneath
His name?
Yeah.
Like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the question for you, seeing that this is the only place he gets his news,
Yes. God.
is what is a TV chyron that we could use to make Trump act like a normal, well-adjusted human being?
We should just put in, like, little things, little suggestions, like, straighten your tie.
Okay.
Or, straighten your tie. Eat an orange today.
Maybe that's it. Maybe he hasn't been having enough fruits.
I think that's part of it, Another one I would suggest would be, hey, put down the Mickey D's and have a glass of water.
So your chyron would say, Trump discusses North Korea, needs a glass of water.
Right. And he'd be like, hey, you.
That's not a bad idea.
I love it. When can I get more glasses of water? Yeah.
That's all I do now. I just drink water all the time.
I'm so hydrated. I'm the most hydrated
Don't let the fake
person.
news media tell you I don't drink water. All I do is drink water. I have a water guy. He brings me the best water. And it's so good. It's so wet.
I like to think that he, everywhere he goes, because he's so businessy, he has one of those office, tank things of water cooler.
They wheel it around behind him.
on a pair of hand trucks.
I drink water, but I can only do it out of those paper cones.
Right. They're also great for snow cones.
Obnoxious CNN personality.
That's
or
a good
former
Chiron.
CNN personality, Jeffrey Lord, was let go today after tweeting Sig Heil at a liberal activist.
Okay.
This should catch no one off guard. Seeing that Jeffrey Lord's only skills in life are saying positive things about Donald Trump and worshiping Ronald Reagan, what can he do as a job now that he's been let go by CNN?
He can work at the Ronald Reagan Museum of Wax.
Just like
Maintaining
bowing before
things.
it?
Well, yeah, they're all candles, actually. All the wax sculptures of Ronald Reagan. So every once in a while, you do have to light them, and they melt down, and then you remake them. So his job is going to be to make wax sculptures.
Jeffrey Lord loves Ronald Reagan so much that if you met Jeffrey Lord and said, you know what? Jelly bellies are a little overrated. He would haul off and punch you in the throat for insulting Reagan's favorite candy.
Oh, that was Reagan's favorite
Oh,
candy?
I love Jelly Bellies.
Oh, I like Jelly Bellies too, Ron.
Well, he's dead.
Well, I know, but, you know.
And I don't know that they get to download podcasts in hell.
That's how Reagan talked to me. Mr. Gorbachev.
That's about right.
Tear down, and while you're at it, take music out of schools and create hip hop.
And finally, last quick hit. My favorite quick hit.
Okay.
And I will be eagerly looking forward to this.
Okay.
Monday night.
Yeah.
This coming Monday.
Yes.
I don't know when this podcast will come out, so maybe tomorrow, whenever it comes out.
Okay.
2 days from now.
Oh, my head hurts. We're in the future.
Stephen Colbert
Yes.
will be interviewing the one, the only, the Mooch.
No.
The
shit,
Mooch
the
is gonna
Mooch.
be on Colbert's show.
No way.
My question to you is, having seen Stephen Colbert's show,
Yes.
obviously not pro-Trump.
No, definitely not.
Why, in the name of all that is good and holy, would the Mooch choose to have his first late night interview on Colbert's show?
I like that guy. He makes me laugh. The Mooch enjoys the Colbert. Here we are.
I was reading the article about this, and Colbert announced it on Twitter by saying Scaramucci will be on the show on Monday. Just a little heads up for the CBS censors. Because who knows what he's going to say.
The Mooch, Steven, I brought you a bouquet. It's made of cocaine and whores.
I guarantee you they're going to talk about Steve Bannon and his favorite pastime.
The best thing ever.
If he gets on that talk show and Colbert does not bring up Steve Bannon's hobbies.
Oh, I know. You're going to be very disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to find out that it wasn't him saying like he metaphorically does like
Sucks his
this
own
is
dick.
a literal
Yeah.
sucking.
I caught him. One time, Steven, I caught him.
So there we go.
There was no one else around. The lights was out. He was wearing all black.
Oh, the Mooch.
And I heard this horrible sound. There was a triangle painted on the wall.
I'm just saying they let him go too soon, because during this whole North Korea thing, the one comforting voice that I want to hear
Because you know it so well.
yeah, is just the Mooch talking about, hey, we're not going to let North Korea just mess with us. They're jerking us around over there. The Mooch is here, okay?
Kim Jong-un, you got a tiny dick. A tiny dick.
It would just, everyone would hear him and go,
I know.
I'm not worried anymore.
No, it's fine. We're going to be fine. He has such confidence.
Even Kim Jong-un would be listening to that going, I don't know that I should mess with them.
Yeah.
They seem unhinged.
They've got that guy.
And that's me saying this.
Yeah.
They seem unhinged.
Yeah. We have to watch that.
Oh, I'm
We
watching that for
absolutely
sure.
have to watch that, yeah. Holy smokes, man. Holy smokes.
That's it. You've been quick hit.
Oh.
Boom!
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 Play some more of that synthesizer. Let's see if we can work this out. Oh, that's good. I like that. Oh, yes.
I'm just going to hold it.
Do like a rhythm, not like a non-rhythm like you're doing right now. That's good. Hit me slowly. Da 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 da. Yeah. Oh, key change. I like it. Ooh, we're getting somewhere. That's soothing. Sushi jackknife.
That's so... It's so high.
It's so high.
There we go.
Ooh. This isn't like a horror movie soundtrack at all.
There are triangle people behind you. Sushi jackknife!